Hello everyone, my name is Dreadlad, and today we're going to be doing Back to the Basics with the Soldier. This is a completely stock soldier, and I believe the main role of the soldier is to do everything. I feel as if Valve intended the soldier to be the skill class for TF2. I think that the soldier is something that it really depends on how well you can play it, because a soldier can kill a sentry almost as effectively as a demo man. It can kill a scout almost effectively as a pyro. It can kill a heavy with 4 rockets. It really is all about how effectively you can play the soldier. So, well, how do you play the soldier effectively? Well, there's a couple little things. For one, aim for the feet. Uh, the worst mistake that I see that new players make is they're actually aiming for people when they're firing your rockets. Your rockets are very slow. If your opponent is moving at all, then you are pretty much going to miss it if you're aiming directly at it and you're at any sort of distance whatsoever. If you're really close, you can aim for body shots. If someone's suspended in the air, go for a body shot. But for the most part, if you're starting off, aim for the ground, aim for the feet below your person. You still do nearly like there's a couple damage difference, like maybe 10 damage difference from hitting someone's feet and hitting someone in the face with a rocket. It's pretty much the same, and you're gonna miss way less. It's almost impossible for someone to dodge a rocket to the feet, but a rocket to the face, and someone can just move a little bit to the left, and you're gonna completely miss them, and you won't have done any damage. So aim for the feet. That's the best advice I can give you. Another really important thing that goes along with that is you have to have the height advantage. If so, right back to what I was saying, if you want to aim for people's feet, would you rather be above them or below them? You can't aim for someone's feet if you can't see their feet. Have the height advantage. It's super helpful. Um, right there with that pyro, if he had been above me, I wouldn't have gotten any damage on him. Just right there, 2 rockets aimed for his feet. You gotta aim for the feet. You gotta have the height advantage if you can. So that brings me to rocket jumping. This is not a rocket jumping guide. I will link one of my favorite rocket jumping guides in the description below if you're super interested in it, but I will suffice it to say that all you have to do is aim at your own feet, jump, press control, and then fire. That will that will jump you into the air. You have to do that all very quickly, but you'll get the hang of it after 10, 20 seconds or so, and you'll be good to go. Um, Next thing with Soldier is positioning. Your positioning is incredibly important. You have to be very aware of your health. You have to be very aware of how many rockets you have loaded. Always, 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 always be reloading. If you have anything less than 3 rockets loaded up, I wouldn't recommend running into any sort of situation at all. You're just not going to kill anything more than maybe a medic with 2 rockets, and that's as long as you don't miss one of those 2 rockets. So be very, very careful with reloading. Just keep pressing R. I would almost recommend putting auto reload on. I don't like auto reload simply because then there's always this soldier reloading in my face when I don't want it to. I like to be able to pick, but that's just me. It becomes natural after a little bit. It's completely personal preference. As a soldier, you're vulnerable to a lot of things. You're vulnerable to walking around a corner and getting hit by stickies. You're vulnerable to a pyro getting really close up in your face. You're vulnerable to a scout getting behind you or a spy getting behind you. Again, I think a soldier is sort of an all-around class. It's not particularly specialized at anything, and it's not particularly weak to anything. It really completely depends on your skill level. Right there, notice that spy, put a shot on him. The sniper, dead, no problem. It completely is dependent on your skill level and the skill level of the person you're fighting. Right here, I'm about to fight a pyro. If this pyro gets an air blast on me, I'm going to be hard pressed to do anything about it. A way to counter air blasting is switch to your shotgun. I mean, if you get a shot with your shotgun, you do just about the same amount of damage. I almost embarrassingly died to that medic right there, but I didn't. And I embarrassingly died to the sniper instead. Anyway, I just got off track there. Just wanted to point all of that out. Um, and yeah, it really is a class where you have to know and anticipate what everyone else is going to be doing, and then counter that with what you can do. Always just, again, remember, have the height advantage, have your rockets reloaded, and this is another thing, don't overextend. I would do this a lot. I would rocket jump into a situation like that just there. I would rocket jump in, and then I would jump over on top of like 3 or 4 people and just fire rockets on them and get all kinds of splash damage on all 3 of them, and then I would die horribly, and they would all heal up and I wouldn't have really accomplished anything. Don't do that so much. You don't really have to rocket jump into situations. Hold a spot, put some spam damage with your rockets. You have the ability to look around a corner, fire 3, 4, 5 rockets. Well, not 5 rockets, but fire 3 or 4 rockets. And then when someone starts shooting at you, you just come around your corner again, retreat a little bit, get some health, get some ammo. You can hold a position. You can put lots of spam damage out there. You can keep the enemy team at bay. Do that. That's how you're most effective as a soldier, and that's going to get you the most points. And we all know that we all want to get the most points because who doesn't love top scoring? Now, next order of business is when not to use your soldier. And I would not recommend using your soldier if your team absolutely needs a specialized class. If there are a ton of spies running around and you absolutely direly need a medic, or not a medic, a pyro, and your team just does not have a pyro, you try to kill the spies with your soldier, there's just too many of them, you guys need a pyro. Switch to pyro. I mean, if you really need a specialized class or you really need a medic, you'd be better off having that specialized class than having a soldier. Another really important thing to be a good soldier is not to switch between rocket launchers very much. It's okay to. It's okay to figure out what rocket launcher you like best, but they all have different speeds, they all look different, they all take up a different amount of your screen, and they're all just different. I don't recommend switching in between rocket launchers very much. If you're switching between the Liberty launcher and the direct hit and the regular rocket launcher, you're not going to be as effective as you would if you had just stuck with one of them. They all have different speeds. You're always going to be better aiming with something that you're used to using than something you're not. I'm sure there are people that can use all 3 and switch in between them and be amazing with it, but personally I don't play soldier that much, and that's completely your prerogative anyway. So it's kind of whatever you want to do. It's a starter guide, it's back to the basics, and I believe that you should pick one to start with and just get really good with it and don't mess around with it after that. I do believe that Soldier is a good class to start out with because you'll very quickly learn what every other class's strengths are, and what every other class's weaknesses are, and you'll learn to counter them with their weaknesses and their strengths and use them against them, and it's a very strategy-based class, and I really enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you next time.